Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Bayern Munich. We are back today with a nice 5-point gap at the top of the Bundesliga after a good run of form in the previous episode, which saw us close out the January transfer window. We've got big games coming up today, including a visit from Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, tricky games against Union Berlin and Mönchengladbach, and I think at some point we should also see the draw for the Champions League last 16, where we may even have potentially one or both of the fixtures in today's episode. But we're just going to dive straight in today through the January window, as I say, so getting towards the crunch period of the season. First game of the episode is Hamburg away, where we should be looking to pick up all 3 points to continue our charge for the Bundesliga title. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Right then guys, kicking off today's episode away at the Volksparkstadion in Hamburg, in the rain as well, so expecting a tricky game in these conditions. But I'm not really too sure what today's episode is kind of in store for as I'm sitting down to record, because the Champions League sort of playoff round has literally just been drawn, so I expect those games to be played in the month of February, where we've only got 4 fixtures. So we could end up seeing, back is offside, we could end up seeing the round of 16 drawn and played today. If not, it's just going to be a lot of Bundesliga games. With 15 to play, we're obviously still top by 5 points and looking to create an even bigger gap at the top. So it could be the Champions League, could just be the Bundesliga. We'll wait and see what happens. Could be a chance on the break here. Elise spots the keeper. Oh my goodness. Who kind of lost his bearings a bit. He managed to get back in between the sticks, but only just about. That was close from Elise. A bit more power, and I think that would have beaten the keeper. Sasha down the right finds Michael Elise. Still waiting for the first real chance of the game. Elise swings the cross in. It's brilliant. But Sembacker's offside once again, and this time the ball ends up in the back of the net. He's not happy about it, the Dutchman, but I think he had just strayed beyond the defender. And you can see there it's pretty tight, but he is just offside. Well, a frustrating first 45 here at the Volksparkstadion, where we've not really created anything clear-cut. We had the disallowed goal for Sembacker, and Elise trying his luck from inside his own half. But other than that, there has not been anything of note in this first half, and Hamburg frustrating us, the weather playing its part as well. And we need a big second half if we are to find a goal and grind out the 3 points. Ball really holding up on the turf. Mensa gets it back to Sembacker, and now Jamal Musiala. Brilliant hold up, and Bakker! It's brilliant. A fantastic goal from Bayern Munich. And of course it's Sembacker who rounds it off. Just had to be patient there with Musiala. He couldn't race through because the ball was being held up on the turf. So instead he just holds it up and waits for our number 9, who slams it in past the keeper to give us the lead. And finally we have our breakthrough. Lima has it exactly where we need it as we hunt down that second goal. Pedro Neto drifts infield. Neto to strike. And it's wide of the upright, but that is going to do it here in Hamburg as we grind out the 1-0 victory. And do you know what? Before the game, I would have taken that in the rain. And as I say, having to grind it out. Not the greatest of games to kick off today's episode, but at this stage of the season, now match day 20, you just have to make sure you get the 3 points over the line in the race for the Bundesliga. And that's exactly what Bayern Munich have done. Pressure on RB Leipzig as we win here at the Volksparkstadion. Well, a big clash up next as we host Bayer Leverkusen, and RB Leipzig, I think, were playing Borussia Dortmund, and by the looks of it, I think they may have lost. In fact, they've lost twice. RB Leipzig have done it again. They've lost twice at home to Dortmund. and then away to VfB Stuttgart. So they dropped to third in the table. It's now Xabi Alonso's side who jump into second, but it's an 8-point gap at the top. And we have the game in hand over RB Leipzig. We now face Leverkusen in our next game. So a win here will actually see us move 11 clear at the top of the Bundesliga with just 13 games to play. And from there, I'm not sure anyone would even be able to catch us. So if we can get the 3 points here, which we did do at the Bay Arena thanks to Jamal Musiala, we will be putting ourselves in a fantastic position for the Bundesliga. So let's just dive straight in. Leverkusen at home at the Allianz. Auf geht's, die Rotten. So yeah, as I mentioned very briefly in the intro, we won the reverse fixture by a 1-0 thanks to Jamal Musiala, the captain at the Bay Arena. But it was a really poor game. The weather conditions were really bad. It was rainy and there were very few chances. So we kind of got the early goal and managed to grind it out. But taking on Leverkusen again here today, the conditions much better for it. And I'm expecting quite an even open game, as that's given to Luna and Elise's in there. It might come to Mensah. Here we come down this side with Michael Elise. And Bakker's made a good run ahead of him. I see Musiala in the middle. I look to pick out Jamal Musiala, and he flashes it wide of the far upright. That's for Leverkusen, getting on the ball a lot more than he did in that return leg. And Boniface looks to shoot. Inacio in trouble. Strike comes in. Inacio pulled out of the middle. Arthur, patient. And Victor Boniface, right on the stroke of half time with an absolute rocket. The Nigerian with an absolute thunderbolt. And I just tried to kind of back off to let him move towards me, because normally they just try and dribble through you, but he takes the strike on early as both of our centre-backs back off, and he drills it in past Ronnie, who gets nowhere near it. And Bayer Leverkusen take the lead in the clash of the top two. Kimmich switches it out to Ali, looking to take on Fonzie. Not many get round him, but Ali's done well and finds Arthur through the gap to Boniface, who shoots again. It's Ronnie making the first real save of note in this second 45. But here's Fonzie releasing Jamal Musiala. And Jamal... oh, it's going to be a penalty. As he released the ball, Jared Branthwaite came steaming into him. It's a really stupid challenge from the former Toffee, as he was going nowhere. But Sem Bakker will have the chance from the spot. Bakker to his usual corner. Sem Bakker scores and levels up the scoreline at 1 apiece. A terrible lapse of judgment from Jared Branthwaite, and we're back level at the Allianz. Ronnie out to Fonzie. And a little body check by Federico Luna, and now he's away. Spaniard against Spaniard. And Federico Luna does really well, and Bakker's there! On hand, as a poacher should be, to win it for Bayern Munich. And from behind, we look set to go 11 clear at the top of the Bundesliga. Leverkusen not happy with the foul or the body check by Luna in the build-up, but it happened quite a long time before the goal. Sem Bakker on the spot to tap home, and Bayern Munich in front of the Allianz. What a turnaround. Leverkusen looking for a late equaliser now. Garcia down the right gets away from Krautzig. Not the quickest Garcia, more of a technician. There is Ali, and the cross comes in, and it was missed by Meyer in the middle, and Florian Wirtz with the opportunity heads over the top. Big chance for Xabi Alonso's side, but it's spurned by Florian Wirtz, and that is going to do it at the Allianz. A big victory for Bayern Munich as we turn it around from a goal down to win 2-1. And extend our gap at the top to 11 points. That is a big win in front of our home crowd. Well, before jumping into our next game in the Bundesliga, you can see the Champions League playoffs first legs have been played. So I expect the second will be after this Saturday, so in the following midweek. So we should hopefully find out the round of 16 pretty shortly after that. But jumping into our next game, Bayer Leverkusen losing again, this time at home to TSG Hoffenheim. Form is so overpowered in this year's game, man. We're now 11 clear with a game in hand, and we are completely running away with it now. A win here will see us move 14 clear of Bayer Leverkusen, although RB Leipzig are yet to play as they travel to Frankfurt. But it's our title to lose from here with 13 to play. Just got to take it game by game and make sure we get the 3 points on the board. Taking on Union Berlin here away from home. Auf geht's, die rotten. Well, very snowy conditions here in Berlin, and I actually got it wrong. RB Leipzig playing at the same time as us. I think it was at home to Wolfsburg. So they can jump up to second with a victory as Leverkusen lost, but to be honest, it is our title to lose from here. We are absolutely running away from it. It's quite tight and congested below us, but nobody can get near us at the top. So if we can get the win here, grinding it out once again in the snowy conditions in Berlin, then that will be a fantastic result that will really put us in probably an uncatchable position, if we're being honest. Oh, that's a clever ball. And Willems is through, and Willems drills in the opening goal for Union Berlin. From out of nowhere, a brilliant through ball that completely took Davis out of the game, and the snow just kind of took him away from Willems as he races away, and Union Berlin take a shock lead here against the league leaders. Well, we had to come from behind to beat Bayer Leverkusen in our previous game, so we've got a bit of history. As Elise finds Sembaka, it's a great strike and well turned away by Perez, but we're going to need that goal to get us back in the game, because especially in the snow, you know I'm not good in these conditions. Even scoring one goal is going to be tough, let alone two to pick up the 3 points. But here we come again with Elise. Lovely 1-2. Michael Elise saved by Perez at the near post again. Goal at Leipzig as Wolfsburg equalised through Josh Achiampong, Chelsea Youth Academy grad. So you know that I'm glad to see that. And RB Leipzig, who were a goal up, now pegged back. But we've still got work to do here in Berlin as Luna finds Kovacevic through to Sembaka, and there's our equalising goal. You can't keep this man down for long. Sembaka at it again in the Bundesliga, and we're back on level terms with half an hour to play. Now we need to find a winner. Oh, Federico's nicked it back off Philip Lionheart. And back to Sembaka, it's off the woodwork. Mensah pinches that back. Musiala off the bench. Jamal. Still Jamal Musiala. Finds Marquez, who gets the strike away, but puts it over the top on the weaker left foot. And that might just about do it. I think that's going to be the last chance, as Union Berlin will hold on to claim a point. We couldn't capitalise on Leipzig slipping up and extending the lead even further at the top, but in the snow, it's not a terrible result away at Union Berlin, who are having a good season. Well, let's find out how the RB Leipzig game ended up. As you can see, wow, we have a nice healthy lead at the top. RB Leipzig did end up losing to Wolfsburg. Leverkusen beat struggling Freiburg by 4-1, and Leipzig then drew with Frankfurt. So with a game in hand, we are 9 clear of Leverkusen, so a win will see us go 12 points clear, and we're 11 clear of RB Leipzig with just 12 games to play. This is our Bundesliga title to throw away now. And before jumping into our next game, I think we should have seen the draw for the Champions League last 16, where we'll be taking on Villarreal over 2 legs, becoming a bit of a sort of rival of ours, despite not playing in Spain, with Southampton and then with Bayern Munich. Of course, we faced them in the league phase, beating them by 3-1 at the Allianz Arena, but that's going to be a tasty 2-legged affair. Of course, semi-finalists last year when we won the competition with Southampton, who, by the way, must have been knocked out by Rangers. How disappointing, man. Lost both legs by 1-0, so we will not be returning to St Mary's. Napoli take on Barcelona, Juventus against Leverkusen, Rangers against Arsenal in an all-British affair, AC Milan taking on Real Madrid, Newcastle against Monaco, Roma against Paris Saint-Germain, and Nice taking on Liverpool. So some big clashes in the last 16 of the Champions League. Do you know what? I think I'm going to try and squeeze both legs into today's episode. So we're just going to dive straight into our next game, taking on Mönchengladbach at home at the Allianz. Another team that have a really good record against Bayern Munich in real life. Of course, we beat them by 2-0 in the reverse fixture away from home at Borussia Park. So looking for another 3 points towards our title charge. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Mensah into Jamal. Gonna have to pick things up a little bit pace-wise if we want to fit that 2-legged semi-final into today's episode. Musiala onto his left peg, Jamal Musiala. Well, we're hoping for a comfortable win here to help pick up the pace, and Jamal opens the scoring 5 before the break to give us the lead. The Bundesliga's looking all but secure with just over 10 games to play, so we can put more of our attention on that Champions League run, with the last 16 coming in today's episode. Well, there's the whistle at the Allianz. Not a very good game there in front of the home crowd, but I'm not sure they will mind too much, as we're one step closer to that Bundesliga title. And with the Champions League rolling back around, we know that we can make changes on the weekend and put out our full strength team for those knockout fixtures with a big healthy lead in the Bundesliga. Right, well, just keeping the games rolling with that semi-final to come. Now at 12 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga with just 11 games to play. So, yeah, just keeping them rolling, as I say, taking on Werder Bremen away from home, knowing that we've got a big, healthy 4-game lead at the top of the Bundesliga. Another 3 points here will take us closer to that crown. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Quite a few changes for us today in the rain at the Weser Stadion, but we sort of know we can not necessarily take our foot off the gas pedal, but we know that we can make changes in the Bundesliga with that big gap at the top. And I trust the backup brigade as well. We've got a really good squad here, and players like Uzun have done really well in limited minutes. Was struggling at the start of the season to really get in the team, but when he's been called upon this campaign, he's done well, and his goal to game ratio is not too bad in all competitions, as we take an early lead at the Weser Stadion. Well, not a great 45 minutes in the rain here at the Weser Stadion, and Uzun's early goal, the difference between the two sides. We've still defended pretty well, as we always do, but just haven't been able to get that second goal that I'd really like, so that I can think about taking off my starters, the likes of Elise and Bakker. I'd like to get them all off so they're ready for that first leg, but until we get that second goal, I don't feel comfortable that the points are in the bag. Mensah wins it back in midfield and finds Uzun, and there's Michael. Elise tried to smash it in at the near post on his left foot, but denied by Reese in goal. Corner swung in, headed on by Hernandez, and the keeper does really well once more to keep that out. Well, 15 to play. I took my starters off at the hour mark because I want to keep them fit and fresh for that Champions League first leg. So We've got that buffer at the top of the Bundesliga for a reason, and we're going to be staying with that buffer as well as Can Uzun rounds off the game with his second and Bayern Munich second as well. 10 to play in the Bundesliga, and we will be staying at least 12 points clear at the top depending on Leverkusen's result. This is the exact sort of result we needed heading into that first leg against Villarreal. Well, RB Leipzig have lost again and completely gone off the boil. We're now 17 clear of them, 15 clear of Dortmund, who have jumped into third, and 12 clear of Leverkusen with 10 to play. So we definitely know that we can rest our players when those Bundesliga matches come around. But it is time for the first leg of the last 16. Travelling to Spain to take on Villarreal. Of course, we faced them at home in the league phase and beat them by 3-1, and we travelled to Villarreal last year with our Southampton side in the semi-final second leg and nicked it late on through Elliot Cole. So we've got history against Villarreal, we've got history on this ground, and we're looking to take a strong aggregate lead back to the Allianz for the second leg. Auf geht's, die Rotten. Yeah, looking forward to this as a last 16 clash. I think it's going to be very tight, as most of our games against Villarreal have been over the course of this save whenever we face them. As I mentioned in the intro, history when we came here with Southampton, as Musiala denied early on, and of course we faced them in the league phase where we were a goal down before coming back to win 3-1. So yeah, lots of history with Villarreal, and I'm expecting another really closely contested two-legged affair. Given to Musiala. It's been a really positive start here. Elise onto his left foot. Jamal Musiala looks to bend one, and bend one he does. What a hit from the skipper, and we lead in Spain, and that is one of the goals of the season. What a strike. We saw him score a wonderful goal on his left foot on the volley at the back post from a corner in the Bundesliga, but that is so clean from Jamal Musiala. Well, we've been pretty on it in this opening half an hour, and we've not seen much from the home side. But here's Jamie releasing Terats, and he finds Facundo Farias, and Terats, oh, he's away from Maya. There's Oskarsson, and Villarreal level from out of nowhere. And Ori Oskarsson, who scored at the Allianz in the league phase, does so here. I thought he was going to shoot, and I thought I'd get there on the stretch with Maya. Couldn't get my player switching sorted, and Oskarsson drills home past Schumacher to bring his side level despite barely being in the game in the opening half an hour. Ooh, Timber might be in trouble there, you know. That's a naughty tackle from Quentin, and it's red, and I thought it might have been as soon as I saw the challenge. And Villarreal, after getting themselves back on level terms, have put themselves in a hole. And it didn't look as bad on the replay, but when I saw it in real time, I thought it was pretty bad. And now we really do have to write home this advantage and make sure we have a lead to take back to the Allianz for the second leg. Well, we're into the second 45 here, and that first half was dramatic and contained 2 goals and a red card. And I said after Quentin was dismissed, we need to make the most of this, because heading back to the Allianz for the second leg, if we can have a 1 or even 2 goal advantage, that would put us in a fantastic position. But Villarreal, we know how solid they are defensively. This is going to be no means an easy task, even against 10 men, as Bakker, oh, the flag's up. Oh, what a ball through. Oskarsson up there on his own now. Ori Oskarsson through to Chukwueze, and even with the 10 men, Villarreal nearly going ahead from a goal behind through Samuel Chukwueze, and oh, that's another crunching tackle. They are really flying in, but now Musiala finds Sem, and Sem races away and is brought down on the edge, and the tackles really are flying in now. I think it'll just be a yellow and it is for the captain. Well, Villarreal have done really well so far to just stay in the game since the red card. Musiala shrugs off his man, waits for the run of Federico Luna down the left, and Luna from the angle sees his effort deflected behind for the corner as we make some changes to bring on some fresh legs. Elise to swing the corner in. Mateo goes up. Merlin's going to win that. Down for Gonzalo Inacio. And it's over the top from the centre-half. Still hunting for that second goal to put us in front. And that is going to do it in Spain. Well, I probably would have taken a 1-1 first leg result if it hadn't been for that red card for Quentin Timber, but that feels like a bit of a missed opportunity with us only drawing in Spain here. Villarreal playing with 10 men and no goals in the second half, but Ori Oskarsson with the equaliser in the first rescues his side with the draw heading to Germany for the second leg, and this tie is still massively in the balance. Well, we'll quickly dive into the league games sandwiched in between the two Champions League last 16 legs and taking on Mainz at home at the Allianz Arena. Again, we've got that big 12-point gap at the top of the Bundesliga, so lots of changes for this as I'm going to need my starting 11 fit and firing for that second leg with us still level at 1 apiece. So just going to quickly dive through this game and hopefully pick up another 3 points to keep up our form in the Bundesliga. Auf geht's, die rotten. Yeah, lots of changes today. I was even tempted for a second to put Stefan de Vrij in as Merlin fires over the top, but I thought that was maybe a step too far. We'll put him in for the final Bundesliga game of the season, and that will be his only appearance of the campaign as he is retiring. But quick start that from Bayern, but Merlin firing over the top. Just need to get a couple of goals up and see this game out comfortably. Free kick here on the edge. Hernandez looking to go around the wall. It's in from Hernandez. And it's our first free kick goal since moving to Bayern Munich. I'm getting slightly better at them. Over the last year or so, I have got better at those free kicks. And Hernandez, I think it's his first goal for the club, just gets it around the last man on the wall, clips the post on its way in, and rolls across the line into the back of the net. Brilliant goal from the Spaniard, and our early pressure pays off with the lead. Sem through to the Magician. Merlin, it's 2 and it's hit that post and gone in again. And Merlin with just his second goal of the campaign, and we lead by 2 inside 10 minutes. This is exactly the sort of performance I was looking for from the backup brigade. We are carving Mainz open. It's another free kick in a dangerous position. Surely not 2 for Hernandez. Oh, it's nearly 2. It's off the woodwork. And Vidovic heads over the top. Well, that would have been a collector's item. 2 free kicks in the same game. But the Spaniards' effort this time off the woodwork, and Vidovic heads behind on the rebound. Space down the right for Mainz. Played into the middle. Strike comes in. Oh, Ronnie gets there on the save, but Meyer brings him down. And Mainz will have a penalty, and we saw one like this recently where you're trying to make the block, and yes, it's late, but Milosevic will have the chance. Ronnie goes the right way, and like against Leipzig, can't get gloves on it. Mainz half the deficit and look to get themselves back into the game. Well, there is the whistle, and despite Mainz getting that goal back from the spot, Bayern Munich were pretty comfortable, even with the backup brigade out there. 2 quick-fire goals in the opening quarter of an hour put us 2 goals to the good. And as I say, despite the goal back for Mainz, it was pretty convincing and comfortable for Bayern Munich, who move 1 win closer to that Bundesliga crown. All attention turns to the second leg of the last 16 in the Champions League as Villarreal roll into town. Well, still 12 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga, but as I say, it is Champions League time. Tie still in the balance at 1 apiece as Villarreal come to take us on in Munich. And honestly, this could go either way. Board expecting us to win this competition this year. A round of 16 exit as we had in the DFB Pokal would be a huge failure. So need to make sure we make it through to the final 8 of the competition. Auf geht's, die Rotten. So underway here at the Allianz, and of course Timber suspended, but Villarreal back to 11v11, and we couldn't make use of the spare man in that second 45 last week in Villarreal. So I'm expecting a really tough fixture, as I've already mentioned, but hoping we can get the job done because the board will not accept a knockout in the last 16, as I mentioned in the intro. This could honestly go either way, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous that there's every chance we could be knocked out tonight. First goal is a huge one, and if we get it, I do feel confident that we'd be able to go on and see the game out. Fonzie snaps in, gets a toe on it, but it's back with Villarreal. There's Dusan buzzing around as he does. Luna plays it out wide to Fonzie and back to Federico, who's in behind Benjamin Pavard here. And Luna to Bakker, lays it off for Musiala, deflected and in. And a big striker luck. Yabba dabba doo at the Allianz as Jamal Musiala puts us into the lead over the 2 legs with his second goal. Big deflection, but the Bayern Munich fans don't care one bit. Musiala takes a free kick quickly. Villarreal caught napping. And Sam Bakker, that is brilliant, quick thinking from Michael Elise. And that may just be enough to send us to the final 8. Quick free kick. Mensah slides through Bakker whilst Villarreal are not set. And the Dutchman drills in to make it 3-1. And I think from here, in our own backyard, it will take some comeback from Villarreal to claw themselves into the quarterfinals from here. That might just be enough for Bayern. Well, it looks as if that third goal will be enough for Bayern Munich as we are heading through to the quarterfinals, and Sembakker's goal really killed off the tie. Villarreal ran out of ideas and knew it was a bit of a lost cause once that Bakker third went in. Fair play to them, they gave it a real good go, and that first leg over in Spain was particularly difficult, but back here in Germany we secure the 2 goals to send us through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Alright then guys, that is where we will leave it for today's episode of our FC25 career mode. Loads of great progression in the Bundesliga as we are 12 points clear with just 9 games left to play in Germany. So moving towards that Bundesliga crown, which was a bit of a must-have after being knocked out in the early stages of the DFB Pokal. Of course, still in the Champions League as well, and through to the quarterfinals where we will find out our opponents at the beginning of the next episode. But I'm feeling pretty confident on the run that we have been on, whoever it is that we are to face. But guys, that will do it for today. I'll catch you in the next episode very soon. Take care and peace.